Okay, in this recording, I'm going to show you how to wipe out and replace a outdated Sandbox with the content from a rostered course. So this is the course that this teacher just finished teaching at the end of quarter one, and it's very much updated from the original Sandbox, which is this, that was put into the course back in August. So this was the original Sandbox. It was copied into this course back in August, and then it grew and grew and grew. And the teacher didn't update this along the way because she knew she was going to be making a lot of changes. So she now just wants to wipe this out and replace it with this. So to do that, first make sure you're in the correct Sandbox that you want to wipe out. So I've confirmed with her repeatedly that it's her Med-Surg 2 Sandbox that she wants emptied out. So to do that, I'm going to go, instead of being on the home page, I'm going to scroll down here to Settings. And I'm going to go over here on the right side and go to Reset Course Content. Please know if you do this, it cannot be undone. There's no undoing this. So I'm going to hit Reset Course Content. I'm double checking. I'm in Med-Surg 2. I'm in her Sandbox. I'm going to hit this. It gives you a warning. Yes, I'm going to reset the course content. Now I'm going to go back to the course homepage to import the content, or I can just do it from here. So I'm just going to do it from here. I'm going to click Import Course Content, and I'm going to be importing the content that's in this class. And I have it open in another tab just so I can make sure it's the right one. Med-Surg, PRN 0291G 5691. I've already looked through this. I know this is the class where I want to import the content into the Sandbox. So my Sandbox is empty now. So where it says import, I'm back in the Sandbox where it says import content. I'm going to say copy a course, be a Canvas course here. And then where you do search for course, you can just probably click a down arrow and it will bring your courses up. But because I'm in the admin view, I need to put some search criteria here. I know it's this one, PRN 0291G, so I'm just going to start typing it here, PRN 0291G. And then I know it's the 5691 section, so I'm going to go here to 5691. Now, I'm not going to hit all content. The reason I'm not going to hit all content is because this class was an active running class, a rostered class, and it has the blueprint in it, which I can tell because it has the blueprint homepage. I can also tell it has the blueprint because if I click on Files, I'm in the 5691 course, I can see all the blueprint folders here. So the Sandboxes, which is what I'm updating here, cannot have the blueprint in them. They have to be blueprint free because the rostered courses have the blueprint. It's some way of how it connects in the background. The blueprint can't be in the Sandbox. So I can't just say copy all content because it's going to copy the blueprint stuff with it. So I have to say select specific content, and then I'm going to click import. And now I actually click the select content button. It seems like it's an odd way to click import first, but this is just how it's done. So you click import on the previous screen, and now you click select content. Now I'm going to basically copy everything over except any files that have BP for blueprint in the front. So I can copy the course settings if I want. I want the syllabus. For modules, you can see there's 27 modules. I'm going to click this little side arrow to expand what those 27 are. And I'm going to pick everything except for the blueprint. Again, we are not copying the blueprint. So I'm going to hit this box to select all 27, and then I'm going to uncheck the ones that start with BP. So I don't want these 4 modules. I'm going to scroll down. Under assignments, there are 3 assignments that are blueprint out of the 82 she has. So I'm going to again click this little side arrow to expand them all down. The blueprint assignments are in this thing here that says BP first week assignments. But what you should do is expand this by clicking the little side arrow and see if the teacher has, or you have, any additional assignments that you put into that group. Sometimes teachers put other assignments in this group because they want them done first week. So I'm just going to click on this here. Find the 3 that say BP and uncheck them. Again, we're not copying anything that says BP, but I do want to keep this one. And then of course everything else is checked. Moving down more, I want all the quizzes. This check here means everything inside is checked. Question banks, if you want to double check, you can click this and just make sure everything is checked. I want all the question banks. There's no BP question bank, so I'm just going to check this. For discussion topics, she has 3. One discussion topic is a BP, so I'm going to expand it by clicking this arrow. I'm going to click that I want them, and then again, I'm going to uncheck the BP one. For pages, she has 115 pages. I want to bring all of them over except for the ones that have BP. So again, I'm going to click the side arrow to expand them. I'm going to click here to select all 115, and then I'm going to scroll down to find the BP ones. They're usually in a cluster. Here they are, and I'm going to uncheck all of these ones that start with BP. They're usually all together, but I'm going to continue to look down this list slowly, make sure there isn't anything else that starts with BP. I don't see anything else. They're not in alphabetical order. Oh, here's one more. BP standard homepage. I'm going to uncheck this one. See, it's a lonely one all by itself. Okay, external tools, you can check that you want them because there isn't any BP external tool to worry about. Announcements, you can bring them all over. If you want to look and see what the announcements were titled, you can click the little expand arrow and see what they were. Maybe she doesn't want any of these in her Sandbox. They were specific to the rostered course she was running, but I'll let her delete them. I'm going to go ahead and bring them over. Rubrics, you can click check because you'll want all of the rubrics. Again, none of the rubrics are BP related. Files, she has 831 files. Sometimes this is a little slow to load, so I'm just going to go very slowly. First, I'm going to expand the arrow to find the 4 folders that have the BP files in them. So I'm going to expand this and give it a minute to run. Okay, so here are all her things under course files. I'm going to go ahead and click check to check everything. And just give it, don't click on your mouse or anything, just give it a second to check everything down. Because she has a lot, it might take a minute for it to filter down. Okay, there it goes. I didn't click anything, I just scrolled a little bit. So now everything here is checked, check, 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 check. But as with everything else, I want to find the BP ones and uncheck them. So everything got checked. Now let's scroll up. These are in alphabetical order. So here are the 4 folders that have BP in the name. BP course image, BP standard Canvas content, BP student annotation, and BP uploaded media. They're the same 4 for everybody. So let's just see what's in them and then uncheck them. So here's the first one, BP course image. I'm going to click the side arrow. Okay, there's one file that starts with BP, so I want to uncheck that. But these 2 do not start with BP, which means the teacher saved those files and they got put into that folder somehow. So I'm going to leave them because she probably still wants them. For standard course content, there should not be anything in here except for the standard course content. I haven't come across where teachers' files accidentally get put into this folder. So I'm going to uncheck this, but just to show you that there's nothing else in there except files that start with BP, I'm going to go ahead and expand it just so you can see. BP, 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 BP. See, these are all just BPs, and we don't want any of those. The third BP folder is BP student annotation documents. Definitely check this one because if you created any annotation assignments, they might have filtered into this folder. So I'm going to expand this. I don't want BP, don't want BP, don't want BP. Oh, I do want this handbook signature assignment, so I'm going to leave that in there, or student annotation document. And then the 4th and final folder you're going to check is the BP uploaded media. Again, click the side arrow to expand it, uncheck anything that starts with BP, and then you can go ahead and keep everything else checked. These again aren't in alphabetical order. I don't know how they get ordered, maybe by date of upload or something, I don't know. But everything else should be checked, which it is. All the other folders in this course files area are all checked, which is good. So everything's the way that I want it. If you want to just double check, scroll back up to the top. Course settings I want, syllabus body I want all of the modules except for the 4 BPs. Unchecked, 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 unchecked. That's good. I'm just reviewing this really fast. Assignments, I want everything. See how everything's checked except for the 3 assignments that are BP, and they should be in a group called BP First Week Assignments. Just open this, or expand it rather, in case there's anything else in there, like there was this one in here, and I do want to bring that in. If you forget it, it's no big deal. You just have to recreate it again. Quizzes, you want all of the quizzes, unless you don't for some reason. Question banks, you want all the question banks. Discussion topics, you'll want everything except for the BP. Obviously, when you're doing this, if you know there's stuff you don't want in your sandbox, you can uncheck it. But the purpose of this video is just to show you how to keep everything except for BP. Pages, I want all the pages checked except for the BPs. These all got clustered together, but as I was going through slowly, I did see that there was one other random one down here. Don't know why, but I unchecked it. External tools, if I were to expand this, you can see it's just one. It's not a BP tool, so yes, I want it. I want the announcements. I want the rubrics. Again, I can expand this and see what it is. And then under course files, again, be patient. Let it all populate down. Let it all check when you check the select all box at the top. Then after it's all checked, scroll down and find the 4 folders that have BP in the name. And then just check anything that doesn't have the BP. So this doesn't have the BP, doesn't have the BP, they get checked. Anything with BP gets unchecked, unchecked, unchecked. So I've double checked everything. Check, 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 check. Click select content, give it a second. It's going to process. So again, I'm importing her 5691 class that she just ran with students. It's her rostered course. I'm copying it back into her Sandbox because her Sandbox was so out of date. She had made so many significant changes. It was easier to just wipe out her Sandbox and do this process. If you're making small changes to your Sandbox, then you can do those daily, and then at the end of the term when you're done running your course, you won't have to do this process because your Sandbox will look just like your rostered course. I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a second while this is running. Okay, so now the process has completed. There were 2 issues. I can click on the 2 issues to see what they were. This comes up all the time. You can click these to see what they are. I usually just ignore them. And now I just want to make sure that everything is good, even though it's telling me it's complete. So I'm going to click on the home page. I also want to make sure I set the home page. Okay, so I'm in the Sandbox. Right now, if I click on course homepage, here it is. Sometimes it takes a second. If I click choose course homepage, it's probably set to modules right now, which is fine. Once you later take your Sandbox and import it into a rostered class, then you'll have the blueprint in there and you'll use the blueprint homepage. But in your Sandbox, having the modules page is fine. You can see everything looks like it came in nicely. Okay, if you don't like the way that the menu looks, again, to do that, you just go to settings and click on navigation. So really, you don't need to have anything up here except for home, syllabus, announcements, modules. If you use the lockdown browser, you can have it up there. The students won't see it even though it's in the upper section. Also, new analytics you can put up there. The students won't see it even though it's in the upper section. Everything else can stay down here. I'm going to just click save. Again, you do not publish, no publishing of sandboxes. They don't get published because they don't get students enrolled, so they don't need to be published. And if I go to files, you'll notice there aren't, actually there will be BP files here. Let me show you this. I almost forgot to mention this. So I clicked on files and I see these folders came over with the BP in the front. But if I click on the folder, let's wait for this to finish loading here. Okay, now it's finished loading. If I click on this folder that says BP course image, if you remember, I unchecked the files that said BP. So notice there's no files in here anymore that say BP. So I'm going to rename this in a minute and just call it course images. Student annotation documents, same thing. If I click on this folder on the left here, notice the only student annotation document that's in there is one that does not have BP in the front. But I wanted to bring it over so it'll be available again for the teacher later. Same thing with uploaded media. There was a lot of uploaded media in that folder. I took out or unchecked the two files that started with BP. Notice they're not here anymore. So I want to keep all the stuff that is in these particular folders, but I really don't want BP to be in the front of the names anymore because there is no blueprint stuff in them. So the way to change these folder names is click on the top part of your tree. So this is the tree for your course. Click on the very top one. Okay, there it goes. It finally refreshed. Okay, so I clicked the root, which is why it's underlined here, and I'm going to find these three folders. I'm going to rename them, getting rid of the BP in the front because, again, there's actually no blueprint items in there. So I'm going, and they're alphabetical, so I'm going to scroll down, and here they are. Okay, so I'm just going to rename them. To rename them, hover over this so that it's blue. You can even click on it once if you want, and then you'll get this little blue line here. And then I'm going to click on the three dots to the right hand side. I'm going to click rename, and I'm just going to get rid of the BP part of the name. I'm just going to call it course image. I'm actually going to put an S because there were two images there, and then click the check mark. Make sure you click the check. Now it's going to reshuffle them because I'm out of order because I was in the B's. Now it's here. So let me go back up to where the B's were. Again, these are alphabetical. Here's BP student annotation documents. Again, I'm going to click on it once just to kind of select this folder. Click on the three vertical dots to the right. Click on rename. And this is a student annotation document, yes, but I'm going to get rid of the BP part of the name. There's only one document in there right now, so I'm going to get rid of the S, although that doesn't really matter. Click the check mark, very important. Now it's putting it down here in alphabetical order. I have to go all the way back up to the B's one more time and do that third folder. Here it is, BP uploaded media. Again, I'm going to click on this once just to kind of select it. Don't click on the link because then it'll open it, and when you have it open, you can't rename it. So you have to rename it where it's in a list like this, not when you're open and into the folder itself. So I've selected it. I'm going to click the three vertical dots like we did before, click rename, and I'm just going to get rid of the BP in the front because, again, there's really no blueprint files in that folder anymore. It's just now going to be called uploaded media. Click the check mark. So now when I look over here, there's no more BP folders and there's no files anywhere in here that start with BP. So this is ready to go now, and you can keep working on it if you want to continue to make changes to it, but it's ready to go. And then the next time this teacher teaches Med-Surg 2, when she has her rostered class, she'll just import her Sandbox into there. If you have any questions, let me know.